All right, Shalom Israel with the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Start out at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commandant General Yohana. This is the Friday night Lashawan Qadash class where we break down the scriptures from a linguistics perspective. Salakia, 1 second, grab a chair. But this is where we do what your Christian pastors are ill-equipped to do. I mean, you wonder why they don't understand the Bible. How could you How could you know? Well, you was about to say something, sir? Okay, no, sir. Uh, but you wonder why you couldn't. Well, you wonder why the Christian pastors don't understand the Bible, or you read the or what the Christian pastors say is in the Bible. You read the Bible and it's not in the Bible. You know what I mean? They say Christ ain't got no color. You know what I mean? But you read in the Bible in Daniel the 10th chapter, Revelation the first chapter, that Christ is a black man. You know what I mean? You think that Christ came to teach everybody, and God loves everybody, and Christ died for everybody. But then you read all through the New Testament how that's not true. You wonder why that is? It's because your Christian pastors haven't gone into the language. You know what I mean? The language is the language is the reason why they have all these misunderstandings. Um, you know what I mean, about what the Bible actually says. You know what I mean? They think the Gentile, when the Bible says or talks about Gentiles, they think that that specifically means other nations. But in the Bible, the Gentiles is talking about it just means nations. The word Gentiles just means nations. And it could either mean Israelites who behave like the other nations, or it could mean the other nations. But they don't have the understanding uh to be able to know which context that's being used, because they don't understand the language. You know what I mean? Same with these fake Israelite groups or these Christian Israelite groups. They negate the language, so they there's no way that we can understand our culture and our identity without our language. And it's especially, you know what I mean, we're trying to separate from our oppressors' culture and what they gave us. You know what I mean? They beat us and gave us their language. They beat us and enslaved us and put us in captivity and gave us their culture. There's no way for us to separate from our oppressors' culture and uh and the things that they gave us without coming back to our language. You know what I mean? You can't have your own culture and your own identity. You can't separate from your oppressors and your slave masters while speaking their language. You know what I mean? So that's what we do every Friday night. If you got any questions or comments, you can go and put them in the chat. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Share it with your loved ones. Share it with your brothers, your sisters, your mother, your father, all of that. And even if you're a heckler in the chat, share it with the people that agree with you, so that we can destroy them right in front of the entire nation. You know what I mean? Uh, and uh, okay, so tonight, you know what I mean, we're gonna be picking back up from what we just went over last week. Uh, we went over a couple basics, and what you got to understand with the Lashawan Kodash is, um, it's once you understand the basics, which is what you see on the board right here. Once you understand the basics, you understand the language. You know what I mean? So if you're new to the class, you know what I mean, don't be intimidated. Just just make sure you get the basics down. You know what I mean? So we start with the basics. The most basic thing that you can understand about the Lashawan Kodash is the characters. So the characters is Ba Gada Hawaza Ha Ta Yaka La Manasa I Pataza Kwa Ra Sha and Tha. All right. So that's the basic. That's the most basic that you can get with the Lashawan Kodash. And once you understand the characters, or once you at least know them from to Tha, once you know that, then you can start the compound on that. Like last week, I believe it was, we went over the pictographs, the pictographs that's associated with each character. Like, as a matter of fact, let me adjust the camera real quick. each one of these characters has a pictograph associated with it. And you was in class last week, right? Okay, yeah, yeah. So you got it in your notes? Okay, Most High in Christ. Each one of those, lock it. Each one of those pictographs are important because not only is it going to help you understand each character, but it's going to help you build your vocabulary and it's going to help you understand your language. So the I is a. You remember what the I is? The I. Okay. What's the first one you got written down? Okay, no problem. Well, Most High in Christ. Most High in Christ. It's good that we going over this. And you got a mic right there as well. Whenever you whenever you want to. But the from okay, so the I is for a lop, a lop, which is the head of an ox, which is why it looks like, and I believe we went over it the week before as well, before we went into the Shield of David. So this is what the eye looks like right here. All right, make sure we get out y'all way. But that's what the eye looks like right there. It's the head of an ox, sideways. Like if it was right side up, it would just look like this. And this will be the horns, and this will be the face, and this will be, I guess, the mouth. But that's what a that's what a that's what the ah comes from. This comes from a lot, which means cow or ox, right? And it comes from this. This is how it used to look, right? So it used to be more detailed and drawn out, right? Yeah. So that's how it used to look, but because it's a little tedious, you know what I mean, constantly trying to draw pictures because that's the root word of pictograph. Is pic, which is picture. You know what I mean? So our language comes from pictures, right? So this is the ah, which is the cow's head, which used to look like this, which developed into this for ease of or for practicality, for to make it more practical, right? But ah just means a lot, which means the head of a cow, right? You got all 22 of them. Okay, no problem. Okay. All right. Just let me know. Okay. So we'll just as we get to them, just let me know which ones you missed, and then we'll go ahead and cover them, and then we'll fill in the blanks for you. All right. So I is a lot, which is cow. Ba is what? Go ahead. You can say it in the mic.
House.
Right. House, which is what's the word for house?
That's the one I missed that one. I missed
Okay. Most of the Christ. Bayath.
Ba- yeah.
Bayath.
Yeah.
All right. Which is where you get the word for school, which is Bayath Saparium. Right? Bayath is house, Sapar is books. Or book. Saparium is books. But I'm just you know what I mean throwing you know what I mean throwing stuff out there. But you know what I mean if you want to say the school, you know, you want to talk about the school, the word for school is Bayath Saparium, which is house of books. So Bayaf is house, Saparium is books. You know what I mean? But the word for house is Bayaf, right? That's where this pictograph come from. It's a floor plan for a house. Ga is what? What you got?
Camel.
Khan, which is uh
Gamal.
Khan, go ahead.
Gamal.
Khan. Da is what?
Door.
Door, which is
The loft. The
Khan.
loft.
Khan. Yeah. Ha is what?
Hand.
Or put forth hand, I believe it is, because Yah You skip. You go down to where we at?
Oh, con, sir. I do.
Yeah,
see
it's,
it. Y'all.
yeah.
So you said in front. Salakia.
To put forth or to behold, behold.
Oh yeah,
So
yeah. I do.
hana,
Behold. Yeah,
Con,
yeah, I do.
hana, right? And then Y is
Hook.
right, which is
W- I don't think I. Why?
wow, wow or wow. Yeah, that's it's a kind of a funny pronunciation, but it's wow, WAW in yeah, wow. And then za is
Weapon.
which is
I didn't get that one.
okay. Well, you know what I mean. You got the stone weapon right there. Yeah. So za, you just said it.
Upon.
No, za, a bond.
Zion. Zion.
What you was about to say?
Upon Zion. That what
Zion.
Zion. Okay.
Zion is weapon. Yeah, a bond means stone. Zion is weapon. So that's what the za is. And kha, you got kha.
Concert. It'll be on wall. I didn't get the other word. I know it's gonna be a C. I ain't.
It's khawama. Let me double check. I believe it's khawama. That's why we going over it too. And I promise you, once we go over it, a couple times, like this is the second time we're going over, right? Since after this time, you probably it's gonna be on your memory bank after that.
That's how I got the Hebrew down. Take my little notebook to work,
Yeah,
jotting the notes, jotting them down.
yeah,
So I got to transfer this to my smaller notebook.
yeah. And especially like that's a good point right there. Like especially at the beginning, what you gonna have to do is write it down a couple times. So that's at least what I did. So the first part I the first time I wrote it down and then I had to write it down again. And then after I wrote it down the second time, it was just burnt into my memory. And then I was in class and I was watching class and I was, you know, I seen it so much it just burnt into my memory. I'm, I'm checking my notes right now just to make sure. I believe wall is kawama. Or yeah, kawama. Right. Which means wall or fence, right? Which is why it looks like that. What's the next one?
Ta.
Which is
Basket.
which is
Tana.
yeah, tana ah. Which is why it looks like this. The bottom of a basket, which is a circle, which is why the pictograph is a circle with a cross in the middle. All right. So tana which is basket, ya, which is we just went over it a second ago,
Hand.
right? Which is
I don't have that one.
okay. Well, yad, yad. right? Which is where Officer Barack Yard gets his name, and that's another way to learn pictographs and learn yeah, Khan. Yeah. So with that being said, Yod is hand. So how do you say bless in the Hebrew? Just by knowing the brother name. Yeah. Based on what you just said.
Can you repeat that again? My bad. Salam.
So we was talking about what officer?
Officer Barakia.
Khan. So based on his name, Barak Yod, Yod is hand, right?
Con, sir.
So how do you say bless? Based on knowing his name. Based on knowing your brother.
Barak.
Khan. That's as simple as that. That's that's an easy way to learn people, or not learn people's names, but that's an easy way to learn Hebrew. Just learning brothers' names. Like I know it might be a little difficult learning the Lashawan Qadash because it's a language that we not really familiar with. But if you go to the Passover and you get to know brothers, you're like, who this brother? Oh, what's your name? Oh, I'm Officer such and such. Oh, what's your name mean? And they'll tell you. That's how you learn the Hebrew. So it's like before we used the example of Bon Zion for the pictograph Zion. So Zion is, you remember what Zion is?
Weapon.
Right. So you know what his name mean, right? We just said it a second ago.
I just remember weapon of Zion. Weapon of Zion.
Stone weapon.
Stone. Yo, con. Kind of one.
Stone weapon. So Zion is weapon. So what does a bond mean?
Stone.
Huh. So you just added that to your what's it called? You just added that to your vocabulary. A bond means stone. Right? So anytime you see that in the scriptures, anytime you hear it, you know that means stone. Right? Anytime you see a brother with that in their name, you know that it means stone. Right? Like Captain Napataza out of Cincinnati or out of Southern Ohio, his name is Napataza Alabon, which I believe means to dash over the stones. Like I believe it's a scripture in Psalms. Happy will we be when we dash their little ones over the stones. So his name is Napataza Alabon. He's over there on the Kentucky 8 plaque, I believe. Let me make sure. Yeah, he on that plaque over there. But just point is like even if because every brother got their strength, so to speak. If your strength not necessarily the Hebrew, you can just ask brothers their name. You can just talk to brothers. You know what I mean? Just talk to brothers like a brother you ain't never met before. Hey, Shalom Lord Christ, sir. What's your name? Oh, Most High Christ. What that mean? And then they'll just tell you. And then you be like, dang, that's heavy. Then not only will you get to know that brother, but it'll be easier for you to remember because you're talking to a person that you love, that you'll die for. You know what I mean? That you'll give your life for. You know what I mean? So you talk to that brother with his Hebrew name, and then every time you see him, you're like, oh, this brother, that that brother name. You know what I mean? And this what that brother name mean. Like, your camp leader name is, right? And what's his name? Just for the people online.
Officer Karab. Karab.
Yeah, hell yeah. And what Korab mean?
Sword.
So now you know what sword is in the Hebrew. It's just that easy. And it's easy to associate it because you know that brother. You talk to that brother constantly. You know what I mean? That brother will give his life for you, and you'll give your life for that brother. And that's how you learn the Hebrew. That's an easy way to learn the Hebrew. You know what I mean? And that's something that we got to remember as well as we learn in this language. Like, this is ours. This belongs to us. Like, a lot of us, we might be multilingual. We might be bilingual or multilingual. You know what I mean? We had to put in work to learn these languages. Some of us, like, we know English. A lot of us know Spanish. You know what I mean? Our person had to beat that into us, but we know it. But this is ours. Every other language that we had to learn in our past, that was our oppressive language. But this is ours. Go ahead.
Salaki, I was just thinking about walking to the day to class. I was like, it kind of make sense as it always, cause like even when like cement on the ground, you know how Hebrew was carved in the rocks and stones. Like even with us, like we still do it to this day. Whenever we see some cement, we'll just
Yeah.
go carve our name into something. You don't see no oppressor doing that. They the one put it down. If it was up to them, if blacks in this if so called we'll be stoning it, we'll be writing our name in everything. It'll be a name in
God,
about every cement that you pass sidewalk. It was up to Judah.
God. Now that's heavy right there. That's heavy right there, and that's how we got our records. That's how we got our record. That's heavy as hell what you just said. Because that like carving, like what they say. What's the saying? With something forever, it's set in stone. You know what I mean? That's how we got our records because it was set in stone. You know what I mean? We carved that thing in the stones. You know what I mean? Our records are you know what I mean? You look up the a lot of times when you see the Lashawan Qadash, it's in stones. It's in walls. You know what I mean? The Los Lunas Decalogue stones is where you see the I believe the Ten Commandments. Or you look at you know what I mean? It like the walls in like places that we live, like in Africa or like in South America, in you know what I mean, in caves where we had to hide from our oppressor. You see, we carved it in the wall. Like the whole book of John, or the whole book of Revelations rather, was John in prison, and he ain't had no paper. He ain't have no pencil or pen or none of that. He was carving the book of Revelations into walls because he was in jail. He was in prison. You know what I mean? So a lot of our records come from carving in the stone. So that's a heavy point that you just brought out. But that's how we like just that. That's how we have our records today because we preserved it. And you can erase like you see on that all on that wall right there. All of those is pictures of black people that your oppressor tried to paint and make white. Go ahead.
Con on one con. I wanted to ask this like why like in most of the pictures like brothers got like sun behind them. Like I was trying to figure out like what exactly is that. They got the little like a aura or something. You know, like a halo kind of something.
Yeah, that's a good question. I would have to ask. I don't want to make anything up. I kind of got an idea, but I don't want to make anything up. So I'll just have to ask and then get right back with you. As a matter of fact, I know Officer Crawl right outside, but we'll just ask him after the class, and uh yeah, we'll get to the bottom of it.
Con on one con,
And if
sir.
he don't know, then we'll just ask Cap, and if he don't know, we'll just ask. You know what I mean? You know how it go.
Con on one con, sir.
Yeah, but like how you see on the wall, it's a whole bunch of black people. Your oppressor, I believe it was Michelangelo, or Leonardo da Vinci, I believe it was. He painted over the faces of the black people and made them white. That's why you got white Jesus. That's why you got all the prophets and all the priests and all the apostles being white. But when you engrave it in stone, you know what I mean, it's a little bit harder to do that. You know what I mean? Where was we at? Ka ta ya. Okay, Ka. So you remember Ka?
Kyle was rap. Hold on. La I almost wrote la
Okay. Cop or Slakia. Slakia. I just gave it away. Ka comes from the root word cop. KAP. Cop.
Oh, I did. I had it. It looked like an art of right here.
Okay, no sweat.
Oh, sir.
Hey, you remember what it mean? I kind of just gave it away to the people watching online. Hey, make sure. I don't see anybody online participating.
Cop.
Yeah.
Cop.
Cop. Yeah.
COP or KAP.
Yeah. KAP.
Pamal. Hold on. Pamal.
Cop is the Hebrew word. What's the English word?
Okay, okay. La
No. Oh yeah. It does actually.
Pamal.
Look at your hand.
Oh, palm. Yeah, I spelled it wrong.
Yeah.
Man. Oh man.
Most High Christ.
Yeah, see I ain't too good at the oppressor language now, so
Most High Christ. No, that's the right spirit right there. We got to get up out of that.
Wonder why I couldn't spell growing up.
Yeah, because it's a devil's language. You know what I mean? This language is gonna burn right with him. I mean, we ain't gonna be speaking this joint after you know what I mean, after Christ come back. We ain't gonna be speaking our oppressor's language. I mean, we get and the whole point of this class is to get our oppressor's language out of our mouths. You know what I mean? And they don't even know how to speak their language. You know what I mean? What you about to say something?
No, I'm finna say no. It's kind of heavy though, cause I already got it a little bit, cause like sometimes I be want to say Salaki when I'm just speaking to people that's in the
Yeah.
world. Like
Yeah.
I be having to stop myself. My brain be
Yeah.
be getting ready to say like come.
Yeah.
Nah, for real, it be happening to me.
It'd be
I got to
difficult.
turn the switch off on it.
Yeah, you gotta. Sometimes it be hard to switch between like. Yeah, for sure. Like I still like even if I'm talking to brothers or sisters in the world, like I'll just be like, "Hey, Salakia," or I have to explain like, "Oh, well, when I say Salakia, it means forgive me." I have to explain it. Right. You know what I mean? So I definitely feel where you coming from. So what was that? Ka or cop or palm? La. You remember la?
Con, sir, that'll be learn.
Which is what's the Hebrew word?
Lamad.
Lamad, right? Which is this la right here, this L shape. You know what I mean? Because the oppressor is the devil the Bible speaks of, and they stole our characters, they stole our language. It looks like an L, but it's you know what I mean? It looks like an English L, but that's because they stole it. But that looks like that because it's a la. La is because it's a cane that a older man would use. You know what I mean? Which you would who you would learn from, which is why the word for la is lamad, which means learn. All right. Ma is what?
Water.
Water, which is
Mayum.
mayum, most high in Christ. Na,
Sprout.
sprout, which is
Nawah. Nawah. Nawath.
the one.
No. Oh, that's it. I gotta make my handwriting more legible, man.
Most high in Christ. You know, I think me and you know what I mean, we in the same boat. That's why when you see me write, I write in all capital letters. Because my handwriting is poor. My handwriting is terrible in the English. So I write in all capital letters.
Concert.
What is that? Sa.
Established.
Which is
Flag.
you just got the English.
Oh. Concert. Yeah, con.
Okay, no, so I believe Samak is established. Let me see. I know I got these in my notes. Let me see real quick before I go any further. Let me see. Salakia, bear with me 1 second. Gotta be in these. Oh, I got it right here. There it go. Where was we at? Kala ma sa. Yeah. Okay, so you can add this to your notes as well. For we're gonna backtrack one. So to na. All right. Na. Yeah, na. So na one is sprout and napash. Napash. You can just add that to your notes as far as uh uh just a word that starts with that character. All right. Like does that word sound familiar to you? Napash? Okay. How about Sharnapash? Khan. Yeah. You remember that brother? Sharnapash?
He in Houston, right?
Khan.
Houston, yeah,
Khan.
Houston,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
Back,
Yeah.
I know
You know he is
yeah,
now, right?
back.
Yeah. Now you. Napash means living, breathing creature. So now you know what Napash means. So now when you address that brother, you can understand what that brother name means. Ashar, I believe, means happy, or it's one other thing that it means. I can't remember it off the top of my head, but I believe Ashar means happy. Ashar means happy. Yeah. Ashar and Napash mean happy creature. Napash means creature or soul. Creature, soul, or breathing, living. You know what I mean? A living thing, right? So Ashar Napash means happy soul. I would have to ask him personally to figure out what the intention was for his name personally, because depending on intention, like words, like Hebrew words mean different things. Uh, so I know Ashar means happy, but it also means another thing. I wish I could remember. As a matter of fact, let's go ahead and this is a perfect teachable moment. You know what I mean? What?
Doing like a, basically something like the concordance.
Oh
Kind of,
yeah.
I don't know where it went.
I know the concordance that I got on my phone is on it's on Kindle.
Kindle.
That's the most reliable one that I've seen. I got that one from Officer Hazahab out of headquarters.
Concert.
So I just downloaded that one. I bought and downloaded that one because that's the one that he read. Uh, let me see. Lock it. Let me see if I can.
I ain't want to use it because I ain't really know. But I was supposed to show it, but show you.
Make sure Hebrew. Oh, here it is. Okay, I'm tripping. All right. So it should be in the beginning of the damn concordance. Should be right there in the beginning. Uh, Sha. You just do it just like a dictionary. So how you, whenever you look up a word in the dictionary, you say or you say you go from the beginning of the alphabet to the end of the alphabet. So say A, and then whatever word you're looking for is like, okay, whatever, you say, like right now the word that we looking for start with an A. So it's like I or A, and then okay, AHS. Then you go letter by letter. So in this case, you go character by character. So it's Sha, and Ra. Those are the characters in Ashar. So Ah. So you go to the Ah section. Ah is the first character in the Lashawan Qadash alphabet. So the next character is, what's the next character? What's the next character? Let me know.
Shop.
Khan. So you look for Sha. So you go Abagada Hawa Zakata Yaka Lama Nasa I Patazakwa Ra Sha. So you know Sha is gonna be at the end of the alphabet. So you just, yeah, so that's how you go through it. So Ra Sha Sha and Ashar. Here we go. Wait, actually, no, that's not it. That's Sha Asha. Ashar. Here we go. Ashar. To be straight, to be level, right, happy. Dang, that's heavy. I ain't know that. To be straight, level, right. And that described that brother right there. Like he do things by the book. He gonna make things. He gonna make sure everything is according to protocol, and he gonna make sure he do everything that he do. It's gonna be done to a T. You know what I mean? It's gonna be done right. He gonna be all about it, even if things ain't right, or even if things ain't wrong. He gonna he gonna go by the book, and he gonna make sure it's right. You know what I mean? That brother, he is a protocol brother. You know what I mean? Where we at? Ashar, straight, level, right, happy. And he's a happy brother too. You know what I mean? You ever get a salute from that brother? You ever get a that brother? He gonna salute the hell out of you. He gonna greet the hell out of you. You know what I mean? Where we at? Uh, to go forward, to be honest. Honest. That's the word that I was honest. Ashar is a yeah. So honest creature too. You know what I mean? He gonna keep it a buck with you. Prosper, bless, call, bless, be blessed, happy, call happy, go, guide, lead, relieve. You know what I mean? And then there's another word for ashar as well, or another use is or another use rather. So who, which, what, that, uh when, where, how, because, in order, that. It's used like a conjunction, like a connective word, right? Uh but in the case of that brother's name, what were you about to say something? Okay, no problem. But those are the main two uses. Like you'll see it a lot in the Hebrew when you read in the Lashawan Qadash. You'll see it a lot used that way, or in those two ways rather. So one way is gonna be to say happy, honest, straight, you know what I mean, all those things. And then another way is gonna be to say like a conjunction, that, there, which, pertaining to or you about to say something?
Yeah, I was looking up I was trying to find the little concordance that I had on my phone, but when I did see, I remember for mine, I think um, Tazab meant like tree. I think I was trying to see if it meant the same thing in that one. I know it cause my name means solid warrior. I was trying to figure like solid as a tree or
Uh nah. That's what I thought too when I heard your name because uh let me get back to it. But that's what I thought when I first heard your name. So that's what I thought it was. Let's go ahead and get it since we got the concordance here. Uh I believe it's as a matter of fact, there's another way. You got Blue Letter Bible or Bible Hub. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. Bible Hub. Yeah. So a quick way to be able to look up words, especially if like when you out, like maybe you at the slave or uh you might be anywhere. I don't know where you at, but you got your phone with you, but you're not gonna always have concordance with you. A easy way to be able to look up words is look up a scripture with that word in it. So we're looking for a tree, right? So so I just went to the King James Version Bible and looked up tree. Go to Genesis 1 and 11. Genesis 1 and 11. And let me know when you're there. Genesis 1. You got to go to the interlinear section. So, oh, you clicked it. What you click on? Yeah, click on that. Yeah, so just go to. Let me see. Uh, so you got the. Oh, you see at the top where it say John and 3 and 16. Just go to click on John and then go to Genesis. Yeah, just 1 and 11. That's a good. And what does it say? Just for yeah. What is the definition for? Yeah. Now the word that do you know how to write your name in Hebrew? 'Cause I think right to the. So the first part is I to za, just the character I and the character con. Okay, so first of all, the Hebrew is written from yeah, it's written from right to left. But I'm gonna read you this definition, all right? So uh for Aitaza, it says uh H608. That's where your name comes from. All right. Uh yeah, so that's where your name comes from. All right. Aitaza and Aitaza is tree, right? So the first definition is a tree. And in parentheses it says from its firmness. Yeah, from its firmness, like it being solid. Right. That's what a word, and that's where a lot of words come from in the Hebrew. It come from like one word is built off another word. I mean, so that's the first thing, and then it gives a reference. Like usually when you look into the concordance, it'll give reference concordance codes, which will give you more words. So it goes to 86095. So if you follow that concordance code, it'll say to fasten or make firm, to close, right? But let me see. Let me go back to this word itazah, a tree from its firmness. So the fact that the rest of the word carpenter, gallows, helve, pine, plank, staff, stalk, stick, stock, timber, tree, and wood. All right. The fact that all of those words, or all the like, the fact that a tree is like, once a tree grows, like, you know what I mean, you got to do a lot to,
Stop.
yeah,
Tree will go through a fence.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's something solid. I mean, it's an obstacle. I done seen, you ever heard of it's these trees, right? I forget what they call, but these big old trees that grow, uh, and they so big that they go through like roads, and for cars to like pass through this road, they kind of gotta carve a opening in the middle of the tree. I forget what kind of tree it is, but they so damn big and they so solid. Like, normally you would build a tree, or you would pave a road around the obstacle. You will pave, you know what I mean? You'll build a city around the obstacle. But this thing's so solid, it grew right in the middle. And they had to, you know what I mean? They might have paved the road, and then this tree grew right in the middle. So instead of, like, they couldn't, you know what I mean? They couldn't go around it. Like, it didn't matter that this road was here.
Right.
The tree grew. The tree grew and it stood there. You know what I mean? So it don't matter. And this tree, like, man, you should look up these trees. You know what I mean? Like, that's how solid these trees is. You know what I mean? Like, this, like, you can't even imagine it. Like, just looking at it, if you was to look at it right now, like, you would be like, you wouldn't even be able to imagine it. I mean, so that's where you get your name from. You know what I mean? And when you get a name, you get a spirit behind that name. You know what I mean? So, like, when you, that's why like, I love the concordance. Like, when I learn a brother's name, I go to the concordance and I go to the dictionary and to find out, like, okay, what is this brother's name? What's the intention behind this brother's name? And what are other words that apply to this brother's name based on what I found in the concordance? Because it gets deeper. Like, you get, and that's where you draw your zeal and your courage from. You know what I mean? If you find yourself running out of zeal and courage, you know what I mean, whatever you going through, just look in the dictionary and look at your name, and you gonna draw so much zeal from just that alone. Let alone the scriptures that's associated with your name. Let alone, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Of course, you should talk to your camp leader and your captain, but like, just the Hebrew alone, it's gonna give you so much zeal and power, and it's gonna light your flame, bro. I promise you it is. Just look at the name. Look at the name. Like, you start to look at things different, bro. Like, this is life. Like, this is real. Like, we not playing in here. Like, brothers, you know what I mean? Brothers in the world, you know what I mean? You look at these rappers and you see they rap name, or you look at you know what I mean, brothers in the world, they become Muslims and then they change their name to something that's for play. You know what I mean? That's a game. This ain't no game. Like, this is ours. This is ours, and it's gonna,
That's right.
yeah, the fact that this is ours, it's just gonna put something in you, and it's gonna make you want to go in. It's gonna make you want to go to war. I promise you it is, man. That's how I get you, man. But Itazak Gabar means solid warrior, man. You look at everything that's solid out here, man. You look at, like, just, you know what I mean? Just let that fuel you up. Let that fuel you up. Like, you know what I mean? Every tree you see, you know what I mean? You see these trees out here, they're like, man, like you said, like, these trees be growing through fences. They be growing through, you know what I mean? They grow through, it's a tree that don't die. It's called an evergreen. It's a tree that don't die through any weather. You know what I mean? That's you. You know what I mean? It don't matter whether it's storming out here. It don't matter whether it's you know what I mean, a snowstorm, raining too hard. It don't matter if it's a drought. That tree gonna be here. What you about to say?
Boots gonna be on the ground. No.
Yeah, boots gonna be on the ground. You know what I mean? Itazak Bar gonna be on the ground. He gonna be here. You know what I mean? No matter how hard things get. You know what I mean? That's what you gotta understand. Your name is gonna give you so much zeal, especially if you understand the Hebrew. The Hebrew is gonna give you so much zeal. I promise you that. And that's for anybody out there. You know what I mean? You understand brothers' names, you understand sisters' names, it's gonna help you understand. You know what I mean? And brothers know what they doing. You know what I mean? You gotta understand that the Lord gave you your name. The Lord gave you your name. You didn't name yourself. You didn't name yourself. The Lord gave you your name. And he gave you that name for a reason. You know what I mean? You gotta feel those. You got some big once you get your name, once you get your Hebrew name, you got some big shoes to fill. You know what I mean? Where was we at? Are you about to say something?
Allah, I would.
Yakala Manasa I. Okay. And what is what I mean, right?
I. Then Ayan.
Con. Right. I means ayun or I in the English. Which is why I say circle. Right? The only thing that's missing is a dot in the middle to represent your people. But it's an I. Right? Which is also in the body parts lesson. All of these lessons that we kind of going over, like Kop, Yad, Ayun, what else? Let me see. But if you also want to build your vocabulary, a good place to start is the pictographs, but you can also go into the lessons from past classes. You know what I mean? So we did a body parts class, we did a colors class, we did a numbers class, we did a what's it called? Cardinal number, and what's the other one? Cardinal, and I can't remember what the other one is. But basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and first, second ordinal numbers. That's what it is. So cardinal numbers is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So Akkad, Shanya, Shalash, Arbai, Hamash, Shasha, Shabai, Shemawana, Dashai, Aishara. Those are ordinal numbers or cardinal numbers, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then ordinal numbers is first, second, third, fourth, fifth. You see those all the time in the Bible. So just learning all of those, just learning these different things, ordinal numbers, cardinal numbers, body parts, colors, pictographs, that'll help you build your vocabulary, right? And then when you read during Sabbath service, you'll find yourself just flowing through it because you notice. You know what I mean? You notice. I know how to say one in Hebrew, Akkad. So whenever you say on the first day, Akkad, how do you say day? Yum or yawum, right? So you'll just flow through it when you see it in the Hebrew, right? So that's ways to build your vocabulary, right? Pa is another one, right? You remember pa?
Concert. It'd be on mouth.
Right. So pa is pa, which is mouth, right? Which is why it looks like that. Tazah,
Side.
which is tazad, right? Qua,
The
and if you need me to slow down or
rise.
anything,
I think I wrote a rise.
yeah,
rise.
which is quam, right? Quam, which is rise, which is why it looks like that. It's like a sun, like half a sun rising, all right? Ra,
La'ah.
Ra is head. Ra'ash. Ra-ash, which is head. Right? Shah.
La'ah.
Right? Shah is shun, which is teeth. Right? Which is why it looks like this. It looks like a W, but it's 2 teeth, which is teeth. You know what I mean? Why it looks like that. And then tha is what?
Mark.
Mark, which is what in Hebrew?
La'ah on
Thal. Con. Thal. All right. Before we close out, is there anything that you don't have in your notes that you want to go ahead and jot down or go over real quick so that you can have everything? Because this is where you're gonna build off of. Once you understand this, then you'll know the Hebrew.
I believe I got everything. I'm trying to think of something.
But Most High Christ. Most High Christ. All right. But that's the foundation of it. And then once you got that foundation, then we could build on like then this cheat sheet will start to make sense. Like uh these four steps. These four steps only make sense if you understand the prepositions, possessives, root words, and tenses. You got how many characters in the Lashawan Qadash alphabet?
22.
You got 22 root words right there. So you understand this part of these four steps. The prepositions are right here. They right here. So now you understand this part of the fourth step. The possessives are right here. They drawn out right here for you. So now you understand the possessives. You got 3 out of the 4 steps. And then tenses is like the pluralization tense. Like you say ak, which means
Brother.
akiyum means
Brother with an S.
right. Yeah.
Multiple brothers.
Yeah, so the yum at the end would be a pluralization tense. So now you understand tenses. Now you understand all 40 steps. Once you understand all 40 steps, you understand the Hebrew. It's that easy. It's just doing this little work. Like getting down this cheat sheet. Prepositions, possessives, the root words we just went over, which you already got in you already got it in your notebook. But you get the prepositions down, you get the possessives down, and you get you just from there you just build on it. That's all. That's the Hebrew. That's the Hebrew. And it's so simple. Your oppressor can't stand, like we just went over last week, your oppressor can't stand that the Hebrew is so damn simple. It's so simple that they call our language incomplete. They call our language incomplete and they call our language barbaric. But it's just because it's not as complex. It's not as complex as their language is because they're thieves. The Lord gave us this language, but they're thieves. They stole their language from every other culture. You know what I mean? They stole from the Hispanics. They stole from the Spaniards. They stole from the Greeks. They stole from the Romans. They stole from the Italians. They stole from the Native Americans. They stole from the Lashawan Qadash. They stole from any other culture that you could think of. Any other language that anybody speaks on this earth, they stole from them. And that's how they got their language. That's why they could barely speak their language. But our language is simple because it's practical. You know what I mean? But with that, I mean, we're going to go ahead and cut it off right there. Make sure you like, share, subscribe to the channel. Share it with your loved ones. Share it with your family. Even if you're a heckler, share it with your, the people that agree with you so that, you can get up in here, ask your questions, talk your trash. You know what I mean? So we could cut you down before the nation. I mean, we could see the look on your face when you realize you don't know what the hell you talking about. You know what I mean? And if you're not watching this class live, if you want to know more, make sure you scan that QR code in the top right corner. And morning, noon, and night, brothers will be in that chat to answer all your questions and solve all your problems. With that, we're going to go ahead and give a courtesy salute to the brothers. Men of Israel, Majim, which means to stand. Majim Shabbat. Majim, Barak. Yahweh Shem Yahushua Barakathom. Yad Yamatah. Sar. Gonna turn the face to sisters. Give a courtesy salute to the sisters. Men of Israel, Majim Shabbat. Majim, Barak. Yahweh Shamar Latham Ba Shem Yahushua. Yad Yamatah. Class dismissed.